Hi everyone, it's Tiffany. We're live from South Shore Mini with Kaif,
Hi.
and we're gonna go on a test drive of the 2017, the Countryman, right?
Countryman all four.
All four.
New 2017 Countryman all four. So
All right.
very first one.
Have you done any test drives with it yet?
No.
So-
no test drives, and this is only the second time I've driven it. So really happy. It seems like it's a great product, and it's gonna be lots of fun for current Mini owners.
Let's go see.
Yeah.
Right, there it is.
Brand new color, chestnut. So I think we didn't sell a lot of copper. We didn't sell a lot of coffee in the last version of the Countryman, but I think the chestnut's going to be our winner. So a lot of getting people into some of the newer colors and some of the unique things about Mini that you can't get on other brands. So I think the chestnut's going to be a real winner. But the car's like 5 inches longer than the last generation.
Yeah.
So I think from the outside, that's the big takeaway. Like it's a little bit longer, it's a little bit of a smoother ride, and definitely I think most of that space is in the back seat. And then I think the only complaint about the last Country was that the trunk area was a little small, so you get much more trunk area on the back of this one.
Let's see. You can fit so much in there.
So it's so much deeper. Like I think the last Country maybe cut off about right here, and this is at least 4 or 5 inches longer than the last Countryman.
That was cute.
And it does not come with a nut.
No dog
no
included.
Nuts included. No nuts included.
Well, he seems to like it.
No.
I'm getting in. Anything different about the interior that's really noticeable?
So everything about this is really, so BMW and Mini kind of have a history of only changing their cars once every 6 or 7 model years. So the Countryman came out in 2011, and for all intents and purposes was the same car. And this is the first time that they've ever made significant changes to the car. So everything about this car.
All right, I think we're back.
In the wash.
Here we go. Okay, so you were saying it's a whole new redesign.
So it's a whole new redesign. Everything about the car, from soup to nuts, is completely different about the vehicle. So we've got the new BMW engines that have been handed down, what they call their F model engines. So you've got twin power turbo engines on the small engine and on the big engine, so you got plenty of acceleration. But they did a great job of combining performance and comfort in this package of the new Countryman. So I think it's going to be a real winner, and sort of if you're a hardcore Mini kind of customer and you want that European car feel, you still have that nice tight suspension and great handling and stopping. And if you're a new to Mini customer, you still have a more comfortable ride. And now for the first time ever, you can get all those high-end, glitz and glam features on a Countryman that you could never get before.
I like it too because it still has that the classic Mini look, where it has obviously the big face and.
So unfortunately, they went away from doing the classic speedometer in the center. We've seen it on our last couple of cars that have been redesigned recently, but now that we've gotten used to it, they've got the speedometer over the center like they do in all of the other cars, and all of your Mini connected information is here right in the center. It is a touchscreen now too, which is also new as of a couple of months ago. So we have a few Clubmen in stock that have the new touchscreen system, and now the Countryman has the new touchscreen system. So if you want to use voice activation, if you want to use steering wheel buttons, if you want to use the Mini connected controller down below, if you want to use touchscreen, if you want to use preset buttons, you can do everything in the car probably 5 or 6 different ways. So whatever you're partial to, whatever you're comfortable with, is how we can customize the car, to kind of suit you and your lifestyle.
Right. I like that it's still got that space in the back. If we look in the back right here, we have an adult who has plenty of leg room. I mean, like you said earlier, her legs are crossed. You can see there's Whiskey back there. He's got plenty of space, room for all your friends, for those being human friends and fur friends. I think that's something that you don't think about, with Mini is, Mini sounds small, but really they're not.
So it's supposed to be a small brand. It's called Mini, for God's sake. But by the same token, I think Mini realizes that making the cars larger is making them available to a much broader clientele base. And we don't want people getting out of the brand just because the cars don't fit their lifestyles anymore. So
still compact.
Yeah, so still a small car. This car's about 168 inches. Could be off by a half inch there. Don't quote me or don't record me, but But so that's still small relative to like the average car out there on
Right.
the street. But for Mini, that's quite spacious. But you know, now it can kind of, you can keep this car and you won't grow out of it. You know, being able to fit teenagers in the back seat or fit adults in the back seat or carpool with people. This will keep people in the fold for quite a while.
And so I know you talked about some of the changes from the 16 to the 17. What do you think would be the most useful to the everyday driver, as far as like when you sit in your car, what's one thing that they've put into the 17 that you think most people will use day to day?
Well, a lot of the things that used to be options are now standards. So now you've got heated seats, you've got a moonroof, automatic transmission is a no charge option. So now you don't have to dress the car up to get the basic things that most people are going to want in their vehicle. So now the options truly are options. And you can still stay within the same price point. We're still probably going to be tracking anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 for a brand new all-wheel drive Countryman, whether you go with the smaller engine or the bigger engine. And you can get the smaller engine in all-wheel drive now. Before, if you're new to Mini, before you had to go up to the S model, the bigger engine, and spend another $4,000 to get all-wheel drive. Now you've got the choice of doing either. So that's one benefit. But with the newer engines, you get better fuel economy too. So the car is bigger, but it also is going to save you probably 10 to 15% better fuel economy than the previous generation.
Right.
And then the ability to get some of the high-end options and features that people have really gotten accustomed to. So for all those people who didn't get a Countryman or wanted, you know, their Countryman to have, you know, parking sensors or a backup camera or automatic parking options or more sophisticated dashboard and integrated controls, those are all things that you can get now. So
Does this one auto park?
it is.
I do love that. I think
Yeah.
it's so cool.
We've had it on BMW for a few years, and this is the second Mini. Well, it's really the third Mini it's been available on. So I think that's one of those options that most people have never experienced. But once you try it out on a car, once you see it, it's a pretty cool option.
Right.
Especially if you're a city driver.
Or just a back parker like me.
Always park in the back of the lot. Make it easy. Keep it simple.
I'll walk for a spot. It's fine.
So we're driving now, but you can hear how quiet the car is. It's a very smooth ride, and it definitely won't be too jarring with the new suspension, new steering, and new transmissions that they offer.
I don't hear a thing.
You can play around with the touchscreen a little bit.
Yeah, let's see.
But so now, before it used to be that you had one way of doing everything in the car, and now you can pretty much touch navigation or touch music.
So what is
Just don't hit the ejector seat button.
this button? My Mini. Okay, so timer, vehicle. Oh, sorry.
So you can either use the touch buttons on the screen, or you can use a center control knob
Right,
down
so
in between the two of us.
Brings you into the timer. Do that. Vehicle settings. Oh. There it goes. And it's pretty, I mean, it's super easy touchscreen, and I like the size of the screen. Especially, I can feel like if I was driving, it wouldn't be like a let me look back and forth and feel kind of nervous about that. As far as like speed warning, let's see.
So you can do everything from set a reminder that you're going over a certain speed. You know, if you want to remind yourself that the speed limit on the road that we're on is 35 and you're going 40, you can set yourself a reminder.
It's like a fancy cruise control.
You can customize the lighting on the inside of the vehicle. You can customize the turn signals. You can customize the presets for radio and different functions if you have multiple drivers in the car.
That's one thing that I like too, is I feel like BMW kind of did the same thing as far as like the profiles, but it allows you to really make your Mini yours, and you know, remembers you, and it's that extra personal touch that's super innovative.
I doubt there's a car or a manufacturer in the marketplace that has more individualizalized options than Mini does. Even
Right.
BMW, you can't customize your cars the way you used to, so Mini is still holding true to that form.
Which is definitely, people like their Minis and they like them the way they like them. So if we put on the radio, let's hear our speakers over here.
And the standard stereo system seems like it's much nicer too.
Yeah, definitely. You can smooth sound, you can hear everything.
They've got dual climate control instead of single climate control, which in
Here.
a bigger car might be useful.
I think it's good too because, I mean, when you think about it, when you think about buying a car too, a lot of times, obviously, you think about yourself as the driver because, I mean, you're purchasing the car, but that's really comfortable for passengers. Oh, it's fun for passengers. It's fun for, you know, it just makes your ride better. People are more comfortable. Here's like the controls this way. It's like you're gonna have to carpool everybody.
Yeah. And just in case people don't know, I'm 6'2", so in order for me to like sit in the car and be comfortable, yeah, the seats are very hugging. The seats are comfortable. I got plenty of legroom. The seat can actually go back another 4 or 5 inches.
And there's still
I
plenty
usually kind of like to sit closer to the steering wheel, but
in the back.
plenty of space in the car and still able to sit an adult behind me.
Or a dog.
Or a dog.
Who's comfortably napping.
He's asleep already?
Yeah.
Oh,
Does he usually do that when you go into when
Lord.
you get into a comfortable car?
Whiskey, we're shooting a video.
You're supposed to be the star.
Nothing.
Oh, there he goes. He lifted his head and he's like, "What do you want?"
He punched out for lunch.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. We'll take it from here. And it's fun. So just to give people an idea of like what this looks like, I think you made a really great point. You're like, I'm 6'2", because it's definitely considering. Oh, is this a phone spot?
Yeah, there's another cradle accessory that we snapped in there.
But that's pretty easy. I mean, you just saw the black that happened when I put the phone in there, but it's pretty.
And probably above all everything else, it's still a great driving car.
Yeah.
Like, for people that get into, who like to sit higher up,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a family member coming in on Friday to look at a car. And if you're used to sitting up, it's not a car that's hard to handle or overwhelming. The hood doesn't block your vision at all. You can see all the corners of the road on the left and on the right. The rear glass, when you're looking out through the back of the car, that's pretty much where the rear bumper is. So even if
Right.
you don't have parking sensors or a backup camera, it's really easy to judge parallel parking in the distance behind you. The new engines, I can't speak enough about the new transmissions and engines that are in the Countryman. So you don't have to necessarily get the S model if you're price sensitive or if you want to keep the budget down.
Right.
But the 3-cylinder twin power turbos got plenty of acceleration. You get the better fuel economy with the smaller engine. And now you don't have to be sort of apologetic for going in on the smaller base price of the car as opposed to going all the way up to the S model, which pretty much everybody did on the previous generation.
And I know you mentioned that we're in all four too. So for anyone who's new to Mini, I think that that's really important, especially living in New England. We just had a snowstorm, so
It's a new all-wheel drive system too. So the last Countryman was one of the reasons why it didn't get great fuel economy was because it was pretty much in a 50-50 all-wheel drive or 50-50 four-wheel drive mode all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And now the new model is a front-wheel drive car, but it can shift up to 100% of the power to the rear axle. So if I don't need all-wheel drive traction right now going 15 miles an hour down the driveway, it's a front-wheel drive car to maximize fuel economy. So it's a smarter vehicle, much more intuitive. It can do more things. It's just much more capable all the way around.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you want something that you're going to be comfortable in. And for sure, Mini is a great brand for that. But especially this car, I mean, it was a smooth ride the whole way through. It was quiet. You have plenty of space. I just can't speak enough about the comfort of the vehicle and how great that is when you're driving it every day.
Oh, and by the way, we're having a drive event on Saturday. So that's the 18th, I think is Saturday.
And what does that mean?
Saturday 18th. So that's going to be the first time that we're going to have both the base model engine and the S model engine available for a spin. So non-committal, would we love for you to come in and buy inventory on Saturday? Yes, but if you want to just come in, take a look at the car, schedule an appointment to come in and take one for a spin, we're going to have a drive event on Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. So that'll be the first experience for most of us to drive the base model and the S model, and take the car for a spin and get a quality hands-on experience with the vehicle. So it'll be a great comparison, and obviously we'll have the other Minis here too on site if you want to take a look at a Clubman or something comparable to the size,
Right.
and length and width. So yeah, it should be a fun time.
And so anyone watching this video can come in. Do they have to make an appointment? Is it better to make an appointment?
It would be preferable only so we don't have 20 people show up at 10 o'clock in the morning to drive one car. That would be ideal, but we'll make it work either way. But if you give us a call here at the dealership or go on southshoremini.com and put in a lead through the sales department that you want to come in for the sales event on Saturday. We'll get you scheduled for anywhere from 9 until 6 p.m. based on your schedule, and we'll make it work either way.
So you can come in, you can meet Kaif, you can test drive all the minis on the lot, you can test drive the Countryman, you can test drive anything that you want. We'll be okay with it. And just so everybody knows out there, we're going to be doing these videos more regularly. So we'll do one once a week. I think we decided on Tuesdays. So next week on Tuesday, we're going to be doing another video. So if you have stuff that you want to see or hear us talk about, definitely send us a message, send us some comments, and we'll talk about them live. And then lastly, click the little follow at the bottom of this video so that you can follow us and keep up every Tuesday.
The next video is going to be about tire lights. I'm sure that'll be the request. So.
I guess we'll see. Well, thank you, Kaif, for taking us on a drive. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. This is going to be really fun. We'll do this as a weekly occurrence and get everybody familiar with South Shore Mini and welcome you here.
Okay, great. So say bye.
Bye. See you guys later.
Whiskey, say bye.
Whiskey.
Whiskey, say bye.
That's why nobody likes you.
Maybe we'll get him to say bye next time.
He's in a mood today.
He's so mad. Bye.